Welcome back to Rambler Sports Locker. I'm RSL reporter Victoria Williams.
And I'm RSL reporter Chloe Morrissey. The Loyola University women's volleyball team's time with the Missouri Valley Conference has come to an end. Here to bring us a postseason recap is RSL reporter Abbey Sileo.
The Loyola women's volleyball team's last season of Missouri Valley Conference play ends in heartbreak. After clinching the top seed in the MVC championship, the Ramblers looked to earn their first NCAA tournament bid since 2005. They defeated the Valparaiso Beacons 3-2 in their semifinal matchup last Friday. The two teams were neck and neck in every set, but the Ramblers' scoring runs and blocks in important moments put them over the edge. Junior middle hitter Taylor Venuto was a standout performer with a team-high 13 kills and 6 blocks. They moved on to the final where they faced off against the number 2 seed and defending MVC champion Illinois State Redbirds. The Ramblers got off to a hot start, winning the first 2 sets 25-17 and 30-28. However, the Redbirds fought back hard in the third set, scoring 11 of the first 14 points and winning the set 25-10. After this, the Redbirds took control, winning the next 2 sets 26-24 and 15-13 to secure the Missouri Valley Conference Championship. Despite the upset, the Ramblers still have something to celebrate. The MVC announced that junior outside hitter Addie Barnes and Venuto were named to the All-MVC first team for the second time in their careers. They also received this honor during their freshman seasons in 2019. That's not all. Head coach Amanda Berkeley was named MVC Coach of the Year for the first time in her career. This was Berkeley's 4th season with the Ramblers, and she has led the team to 4 straight winning seasons. The Ramblers will be back in action next season, where they will meet new conference rivals in the Atlantic 10. For Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Abbey Sileo.
Thanks, Abbey.
We all know the American tennis legends Venus and Serena Williams, but what many don't know is the story behind their success. King Richard is a new film starring Will Smith, highlighting the force between them both, their father and coach, Richard Williams. Here with a review of the film is RSL reporter Weckle.
2 of the greatest tennis players of all time have just had a movie released about them, but it focuses on an unexpected hero. King Richard was released on November 19th. The movie documents the life and journey of Venus and Serena Williams, but it really centers around Richard Williams, the father and coach of the 2 players. Richard Williams was a visionary that allegedly had his daughter's greatness planned before they were born. He refused to play by the book and took a path of his own. With the help of his wife, Richard trained and coached his daughters into the greatest tennis players. Richard decided he wanted his daughters to play tennis after watching Romanian tennis star Virginia Ruzic play. In the movie, when told he had the next Michael Jordan on his hands, Richard, played by Will Smith, replied he has the next 2. Richard also constantly encourages Venus and Serena to be strong women. Take a look.
As a little boy, my mom used to say, son, the most strongest, the most powerful, the most dangerous creature on this whole earth. It's a woman who know how to think. Ain't nothing she can't do. Y'all know how to think?
Yes, Daddy. But the success of Venus and Serena Williams wasn't without struggle. Against the recommendation of everyone, Richard pulled the girls out of juniors. Juniors is a program for young tennis players ages 6 to 18. It allows kids the opportunity to compete. It acts as a stepping stone for players wanting to go pro. Richard was worried about the pressures that it would put on the girls. Jennifer Capriati is an American former world #1 tennis player. In the movie, she was a prominent example of someone following the established path, and consequently, the struggles that came from it. Richard wanted to spare his girls the same struggle. Despite being unheard of, Richard stood by his decision and refused to let the girls play a match until they went pro. Venus turned pro in 1994, with Serena following the next year. They were both 14 at the start of their career. They have both gone on to become among the greatest tennis players. Venus went on to become #1 in both singles and doubles. She is widely regarded as one of the all-time greats of the sport of tennis. Her sister Serena went on to become an American professional tennis player, fashion designer, philanthropist, and movie producer. She has won 23 Grand Slam single titles, the most any player in the Open era, and the second most of any all-time, behind Margaret Court. This movie is about the hardships of success and family. It features a talented cast and was produced by Will Smith. In my personal opinion, this movie gets a 10 out of 10. If you haven't already, King Richard is in theater and available on HBO Max. For Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Erica Weckle.
Thanks, Erica.
Here to tell us all about the Loyola University Chicago women's basketball team's 3-game winning streak is RSL reporter Gabbi Lumma.
The Loyola women's basketball team is on a 3-game winning streak after wins against Miami, Ohio, Chicago State, and St. Francis. The streak follows their 2-game losing streak, which seemed to add fuel to the Ramblers' fire. In these games, 3 players recorded points of 20 or higher. During their game against St. Francis, sophomore guard Maya Chandler and senior guard Janae Gonzalez posted 21 points. The two added to the 96 total points, a team high since November of 2019. Senior forward Allison Day led her team with 20 points against Miami, Ohio to win 69-52. Following in her team's footsteps, junior guard Sam Gallinopoulos scored a career-high 11 points and had 4 assists. Sophomore forward Satori Tannen scored in the double digits for her 3rd straight game with 10 points and 9 rebounds. The Ramblers' win was not all due to their offense. Their aggression on defense helped them win big against Miami, Ohio. The team forced a total of 17 turnovers and 38 rebounds. Junior forward Julia Heffling also had a standout game on both sides of the ball with 7 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists and 3 blocks. As the Ramblers prepared for their 6 of their next 7 games from Gentile, they have some extra push with their winning streak at home. The team's season continues on Friday, December 3rd in Hanover, New Hampshire, where they will face Dartmouth College. Tip-off is set for 6 p.m. For the Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Gabbi Lumma.
Over the past few weeks, there's been much speculation about Chicago Bears head coach Matt Nagy and whether or not he will be keeping that title for much longer. Here to tell us more is RSL reporter Amelia Villhauer.
Fans still are bringing the heat for Bears head coach Matt Nagy even after a win on Thanksgiving with a 16-14 score against the Detroit Lions. At the Notre Dame versus Illinois basketball game on November 29th, fans broke out into chant yelling "Fire Nagy" so loud that even the broadcast was picking it up. The chants have been heard before at Soldier Field during the Bears' 16-13 loss against the Baltimore Ravens and at the United Center during the Chicago Bulls game against the Indiana Pacers. This anger coming from fans is due to this season's 5-game losing streak. Bad Beat Sports even wrote an article calling Nagy's choice plays, quote, utterly mind-boggling, end quote. Fans even went as far as to create a change.org petition to fire him that is at a whopping 3,432 signatures. There were even people attending the Lake Forest High School versus Cary Grove High School game leading the Fire Nagy chant. This was due to 2 of Nagy's sons being on the Lake Forest roster. Cary Grove, the host of the game, even issued an apology afterwards about the incident. Bears safety Eddie Jackson has spoken out on these chants saying, quote, the fans got to understand that's not helping anything. Y'all want us to play better, do better, and that's not helping when you all sitting up there and chanting that, end quote. While the Bears have never changed their head coach midseason, many fans are hopeful that this year will be the exception. For Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Amelia Villhauer.
Thanks, Amelia.
The men's and women's basketball teams are on a roll so far this season. Although the team's performance on the court isn't the only thing looking stylish. Here is RSL reporter Kihmm to tell us more about each team's game time shoe of choice and to see if their shoe game lives up to their basketball game.
The Loyola men's and women's basketball teams are off to a hot start this season, with each team holding on to a winning record in their division. The men's team danced their way into a victory Wednesday night, while the women's team beat their opponents by double digits last Sunday afternoon. The Ramblers look to keep winning in style as the season swings into full effect. The Ramblers play multiple games a week, which means they need the best shoes that give them the optimal support and style while running up and down the court. Today, I'm going to be talking about the different types of shoes the Ramblers wear on the court and decide if they have good shoe game or not. Starting off with the women's basketball team, the majority of women on the team sport the Kyrie Irving 7 basketball shoes in white with yellow laces. The design is clean with a slick design surrounding the exterior of the shoe, giving athletes a comfortable and tight feel for the best play. The shoe is also splashed with a bit of black covering the bottom and tongue of the shoe. It also includes teeth or spike marks on each side of the shoe, giving it an alligator mouth look. Players who sport this type of shoe are Kaylin Evans and Riley Blackwell. What's more important is that even though not everyone has the Kyrie 7s, they all have white shoes with yellow laces. These women and the rest of the basketball team get my approval of having good shoe game on the court. Next, we have the men's basketball team sporting a variety of shoes, ranging from the Kyries, Kobe's, PG's, and Nike Hyper Dunks, so they aren't as matching as the women's team. Braden Norris and Jacob Hudson both rep the Kyries in maroon, while Ahir Ugwak wears the Giannis Immortalities. The variety of colors and types of shoes on the court make the team look unorganized and out of sync. So, unfortunately, they don't get my approval of shoe game. Finally, we have the Loyola men's basketball coaching staff shoes. While on the sideline, they are rocking custom Nike Dunk sneakers that are maroon and gold. These shoes give off a retro Nike look and provide a comfortable and cool style for everyday use. Almost all of the managers and coaches match at every single game, giving them my approval of having good shoes.
Thanks, Lucas.
With Loyola University Chicago men's basketball game highlights are RSL reporters Julie West and Jaelyn Jochims.
I'm here at Gentile Arena where the Loyola Ramblers just beat the Indiana State Sycamores 88-76 in their first Missouri Valley Conference game. Here are the highlights.
At the end of the first quarter with 30 seconds remaining, the Ramblers were able to pick up the ball after Indiana's failed attempt at the net. Ramblers number 4 Braden Norris helped close the first half with this three-pointer. They would head into the second half with a 1-point lead. Coming into the second half, Indiana would try to bounce back with this three-pointer from number 14, Simon Wilbur.
Guys that don't normally hit shots were hitting shots. Guys were making, plays that they don't normally make.
With 4 minutes left in the game, Ramblers number 12, Marquise Kennedy made this dunk on the Sycamores. This would be the nail in the coffin to secure Loyola's win against Indiana.
I thought we stayed with it and we believed in ourselves, even when the adversity hit.
And the Ramblers will be traveling down a few stops on the Red Line on Saturday to play crosstown rival DePaul. It will be the team's first time competing since 2012. Here's what Loyola star player Lucas Williamson had to say about the upcoming game.
Our approach to every game is kind of the same. We treat every game as a Super Bowl.
Reporting for Rambler Sports Locker with photographer Jaelyn Jochims, I'm Julie West.
To keep up with all things RSL, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Loyola RSL. From all of us here at Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Victoria Williams.
And I'm Chloe Morrissey. And don't forget to turn out the lights.